All right, we're doing Call It Podcast episode 1 in 30 seconds. Don't hide your depression. Go out and speak about it. Talk to your friends, your family. Spend time with them. Get into activities. Find a good community. Anything to add?
Be who you are and don't give yourself up for other people. Do what you want to do and have the healthy balance. 30
That's
seconds.
It. Boom. We're done.
Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is David Artz, alongside Colt Nyren,
Yup.
who is our technical engineer.
And for today, I am your co-host. So, I'm happy to be here. Dylan, he is sick. I'm not going to reuse the same joke 3 times. But Dylan is sick. He can't come today, so you got an even better version. Yours
Nice.
truly. So, what do we got going today?
Today, I figured we would start a brand new series on the channel. It's gonna be here actually. So we're gonna do there's gonna be 6 parts and 6 episodes, and we're gonna be basically talking about frequent asked questions of what mental health is, and kind of just like we're gonna start really basic here, and we're just gonna look at some questions and we discuss what it is, and then hopefully next week we get Dylan out here so we can talk a little more for section 2.
Yep.
All right. So today we're just going to touch up about the basics and what what mental health is, and kind of all that general knowledge stuff before we get into the actual deep dive next week. All right. Do you want to read the question to us?
What is the difference between just having a bad day and like actually having a mental health problem? Now, for me, there's 2 different things. There's feeling depressed and there's being depressed. There's 2 different ways you can interpret it. You can interpret it like maybe you're just having a bad day, maybe you got a bad grade, and then there's just like this recurring sadness that you feel. So that's how I'd have to interpret it. But
yeah, I think the really difference between the 2 for me is, I guess one is kind of just like an emotion of what the day was, and the other one is like a continuous of the same emotion through multiple days, and that's what most people identify mental health as, is not really of what one day is, but rather like a long term and what they feel long term.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I think we're kind of on the same mindset. Yeah, in general, just mental health. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Our second one is everyone a little bit anxious or a little bit OCD? How do I know if what I'm feeling is a real problem or just a personal quirk?
You wanna answer first?
Yeah, so I feel like everyone can be anxious, like especially like in high school, like for tests and quizzes and social, emotional well-being. And I think I think everyone's a bit anxious, and I think there's a clear difference between being anxious for like a day just because of like a final coming up or something, than having a set mental health issue. I don't know, I think it's not really a problem if you have it just for one day out of whatever weeks. But I think definitely if you're struggling to reach out, because it never hurts to reach out. It can only help you. What do you think?
Well, I mean, exactly what you said. When you're feeling anxiety, the first thing you want to go through is like what has been going on in my life. Like if you've had a tough month, like for example, I remember last year I was super anxious like over finals, but all that kind of went away after winter break. I feel like that's a perfect example of like am I really like feeling down, or am I just anxious for the time being? But if you do end up like if you have this reoccurring anxiety, like the best thing you can do is reach out. Like I go to therapy, and like that's from when I was struggling back in 8th grade, and I still do it just kind of as like a personal like life coach almost. I don't really see it as a therapist, but they help out a lot. Even if you're having a great month, it's still great to go and talk to someone. That's not out of, like
Yeah. So if this was your question, I think yes, everyone's a bit anxious at times. Even OCD. Like I feel like everyone at some point is like, oh my god, it has to be absolutely perfect, or else I failed what I was trying to do. But yeah, I don't think that's a real problem. I think it's just kind of the mindset that you put yourself into, and a lot of times that's what leads to extensive mental health issues. Is one bad day might lead into 2 bad days, leads into 3 bad days, and then now you have a month and a year, and it's just kind of built on top of each other. So definitely seeking out the help when you first notice it helps probably the most. Do you agree?
Yeah, and like really quickly, even if like you have been feeling super anxious, just find some like good in your day. Even if it's as big as like, oh, I get to go home and see as small as like, oh, I get to go home and see my dog. Like just something that something that you just find joy in, even if it's just super small. It really helps people like just find joy even when times are rough. That was a really good way, like when I was dealing with mental health problems, that I coped. I just like went through a ton of like things that I found like joyful. Like if I was feeling angry, I would go fishing or something like that,
Oh, you like fishing?
I do. Yeah.
I like fishing.
Really?
You should go sometime.
I mean, I remember last year you were talking about the bass fishing club in intro. I honestly, I should join that because I need a new club. I love broadcasting, but like I need to do a little bit more, I feel like. And
yeah,
I should definitely. Fishing is very calming. If you guys ever need something to just relieve some stress, fishing is, I would consider it very calming. Maybe not as like if you're like
I guess it depends if you do like sport fishing versus just like calm, like sitting down fishing. I wouldn't go to the fishing team if you just want to fish for fun.
Yeah, that's what I like to do.
Actually, maybe I would, but I
even
feel like I think just the community there, like I haven't been on it, but I think a lot of people from where I hear is like, you don't have to love fishing, you don't have to like, do it as a sport, but just hanging out with people and doing the same activities that they like, and that's really important for mental health, especially is finding groups and people who you want to hang out with to do things that you both might like to do. And so a lot of times people isolate themselves when they have anxiety, and then that turns into social anxiety and social mental health issues. So definitely, like, if you like fishing, go ahead and do the fishing club. If you like bowling, do the bowling club or bowling team. Like, it never hurts, and I think at GBN they've been doing really good with like trying to include everyone into whatever you want to do, and I think that's really important because what hurts probably the most is when you try to do something and you just get rejected from doing it. And so I think definitely having a community that can do that is beneficial to everyone.
Yeah, definitely find a community. That's a great way to just have also just more people to talk to. So.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to read this one?
Yep. Am I just being dramatic, or a typical teenager, or is something really wrong? And how do I know the difference? Well, again, I'm sure you've heard this a million times, but teenagers especially go through like a lot of different, whether if it's just like hormones or puberty or whatever. And there is a difference. It sometimes can be hard to, in my opinion, I feel like it sometimes can be hard to find if you're just depressed, or if like you really have like, or if it's just like hormones or just anxiety in general.
I feel like you almost have to reread the question because it's really a lot to unpack too. Because I just want to reread this real quick. Am I just being dramatic or a typical teenager, or is something really wrong? Now, I guess there's different ways you can go with this. One way is it also depends on what you're doing, what is happening in the situation. I mean, definitely if you're, for example, my dog died a few years ago, and for a few days, I was pretty sad, down, and just was not too happy about it. Obviously, you're not really being dramatic. It's like whatever you're feeling is what you're feeling, and there's no like wrongness about what you feel. And I think a lot of people get that wrong, and because in your eyes, maybe losing a pet is not as important to you than losing, for example, your parents. But especially like in a situation like just one person died, I feel like in that time that might be more important to you than looking at bigger picture. So I don't think it's really being dramatic is the issue. It's more of prolonged, like what they call like rebound issues. And that's really kind of when you are feeling down, and then you just keep feeling more down due to the fact that you're not socializing with people, you're not going out, you're not doing things that you should be doing to help yourself. And that is the point where you get the rebound mental health issues, and that's when you start having an issue, and that's when you start seeking out help. So what do you think the difference between being dramatic and being really wrong?
You see, I feel like when you feel down, like let's say when you're an adult and you feel down, it's much different than you feel down like as you're a teenager, because you take it a lot harder. You take it a lot. Yeah, you just take it more serious, and especially like you have a lot more emotions going through you. I know I kind of wanted to connect to what you were saying about when you lost your dog. Recently, I actually lost one of my good friends. It was a really tough time for me, and one of the things that like really helped me like get through that is like I would always think about like the things I wish I did with him, and the things that like I wish we could have done more. But I started to realize like the things that I did with him, and that kind of helped me like get through that. And I feel like thinking of like the good times is a really good way of doing that.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
Yeah.
Always like trying to connect yourself with memories that you've had. It's probably the best way to go, especially when you lose, a live organism. And that's just, I don't know. There's really no debate over that, because I think the ones who say it's really not that important are the ones who probably hurt the most. And they probably lost someone that was really close to them, and they're just not accepting, what was happening at the time. So I think definitely associating yourself with memories that you've had together. Yeah. Anything else you have to say about this?
I mean, not much. What about anything about you?
No, I think definitely just trying to be who you are, and connecting with people. See, next one. What's the point of a label like anxiety or depression? Won't giving it a name just make me feel worse, or make it my whole identity? Yeah, this is a hard one. And I think definitely a lot of people struggle extensively on this, and that's, I don't know. It's really hard because yes, labeling someone especially labeling someone with OCD, ADHD, or things like that is, I think, a lot different than labeling someone who has anxiety or depression. They're both similar in the fact that yes, they have it, but I think sometimes labeling people with OCD or ADHD is just a little harsher than labeling someone with anxiety or depression.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I feel like saying to yourself, oh, am I depressed? I feel like that makes it worse, because then you
Yeah.
kind of force these thoughts in your head, like, oh, it's just my depression, or like, I feel like it gets worse when you say that. And I'm not trying to tell you to like be like, oh, like even if you're struggling, just like out, like you have to express that, but you don't want to just like dwell on it all the time. Like, I'm depressed, I should be sad. Like, it's normal for me to be sad. And although it, like, sadness comes with that, it's not, you should get yourself out of those habits.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess there is really no point in trying to label yourself as someone who has anxiety or depression. It just really makes you feel worse. And if you really are, anxious or really depressed, I don't know, man. You gotta reach out for help. You gotta go talk to someone. Because the more that you're laying in bed, the more that you're just like not doing stuff that is just really not helping you at all. So yeah, I think the second part of the question is won't giving it a name just make me feel worse or make it my whole identity? No, it won't. It won't make you. It won't make the labeling of it won't make you. It won't make your full identity, if that makes sense. It just, I don't know. It kind of hurts you internally by labeling yourself, and definitely when someone else labels you, it never feels good. But I don't think it really makes up of your whole identity, because obviously you have other attributes going on at the same time. You might be still athletic, you might still like doing sports or doing different things, but definitely I say getting help is the number one key to getting better. I don't know, it's really hard.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. We say this all the time, but just getting help is the best way to find help. I'm sorry, getting help is the best way to cope with this, sadness that you have.
And it's like, it's really hard for me to really talk about, this question specifically, because it can go either way. I mean, it just hurts either way. It doesn't matter if you're being labeled it, if you're not being labeled it. If you feel like crap, you feel like crap. And you don't have to be labeled to feel like crap. You don't have to be not labeled to feel like crap. And I think people just need to realize that it's okay to feel like crap a few days in a row. But yeah, just try and get help there. I know, I've obviously gotten therapy for it, and I think it just makes life more enjoyable. And I don't know, I wouldn't say therapy is your best way to go either, if that makes sense. Therapy is a way that you can talk to a professional in a private situation about whatever you need to talk about, right? But I feel like friends and, maybe not so much family, but they can relate to you a little more than a therapist, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to, if you're just starting out with a therapist, it might be probably the hardest thing on earth to do, just because they don't know who you are, and why would you want to open up to someone who you don't know, right? You rather go talk to a friend, you rather go have a face-to-face conversation about it. I think that was one thing that I really noticed when I was with my therapist is it wasn't really a lot of connection time, and it was more of you tell your heart out and they just give you feedback on what you say.
Yeah. I have a therapist, and my therapist, I almost consider him like a friend. Like, he is very friend-like, I guess I could say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wouldn't see him as professional. Like, I feel like there are times when, I talk a lot to him, and then there's a lot of times where we just talk about, like,
Mm-hmm.
Things like life, like shows, TV, like, it's just like talking to a friend. I mean,
Yeah.
You want to find the right therapist. Like, if you go to your therapist, first one, you just don't feel like he's the right one, then find a different one. Like, that is super important, that you're talking to the right people that make you feel comfortable.
Right. And also, I know this kind of happened to me, is like your parents kind of force you into a therapist. And although I didn't choose my therapist at first, we kind of like had some connection. But definitely as the years grew out, the connection just felt less and less, and I just finally stopped it. But I think definitely finding someone that you can play games with, that you can do something other than, talking about your feelings all the time, is a way for your body to feel like it's in a safe space and it can talk when you need it to talk, and not an hour every week that you have to show up to a random place and feel like you have to say everything about your life, and just have someone just constantly give you a feedback on whatever you say.
Yeah, well said.
Next one. Do you want to read this one?
Yep. Why does it seem like everyone suddenly has a mental health issue? Is it just a trend on TikTok? I wouldn't consider it a trend. I feel like everyone goes through hard times, and I think a lot of people overestimate how much they're actually struggling. Like people will, maybe they'll have a bad month and they'll be like, "Oh, I think I'm depressed." And then the next month they're, good as new. And I'm not saying that, that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that a lot of people do, they like to self-diagnose. And there's no problem with, feeling sad, and I don't want to make that sound like a bad thing, but, you should always just, never tell yourself that you're depressed. And if a ton of people, it's always good to talk to people that, other people that struggle with the same ways as you, but, not everything on TikTok is true.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, have you seen the new AI software from ChatGPT?
It's
called Sora.
Yeah, Sora. Dude,
oh my gosh, bro.
It looks
I
so
got
real.
tripped up on some of those videos.
If there wasn't that little tag,
Oh yeah, definitely.
I couldn't tell if it was real.
And those people who pay premium to not have the
I know,
tag. Oh, it's so scary.
I can't even imagine what it's gonna be like in 10 years. It'll be used in to fake court cases. If you think about it like that, I mean, that's just an example of
Yeah, it's just absolute craziness now, and I don't know. I don't think people just randomly get mental health illness, and it's not organic, shall I say. It's more of people feeding off of someone else, and then it just moves forward into in the line. And I say that not to point people out about that, but I feel like nowadays connecting to people is so important that if you're not like someone else, then you're not doing something right. And I think that's where people get it wrong, and I think we just need to spend a little more time on this, because people need to start realizing that you're not gonna be like someone else. I can say I want to be like Bill Gates all I want. I want to be rich. I want to be, having all these fancy cars and getting this massive mansion, and live this beautiful life. In reality, that's probably not gonna happen. And I think just facing yourself against a figure that is just so unreasonable in your life, it just makes you. It just doesn't make you feel like you. It makes you feel fake. It makes you feel like AI generated. And I think that's the point that we're trying to make here, is you shouldn't go out of your way to make someone else happy. You shouldn't go out of your way to make someone else impressed, because at the end of the day, you're living your own life and you're doing what you want to do, or you should be doing what you want to do. And if you're not, then I would say you have to reconsider who you are as a person and where you want to be and what your goals, missions, objectives for life is, and really start honing in on those and start going out into the world and doing goodness, but through who you want to be as a person.
Yeah. Now, one thing that I will say is you should always, I think you mentioned this, I feel like making other people happy and, giving, that's another, I feel like that's a good thing, and you should never not, treat other people well, but value yourself before others. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't value others.
Right.
If that makes sense. If you have, I don't know, if you have I don't even know, but just value yourself before others.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I wasn't saying it like, don't go help someone out if they need it. Definitely do that. But I'm gonna call Dylan Portland out on this. Like, if you gotta be on the podcast, you gotta be on the podcast.
I guess that's a good example of. I guess he is valuing himself because he is sick, but
not really today. It's just, I love going out and helping my mom a lot. Definitely something I'm gonna completely miss. When she passes away, and I think, that really stays in kind of what I do every day. But I also have to realize that I have to pave my own way in life too, and doing the podcast, doing face-to-face interactions, it's just another way for networking. And I say networking is so important, and networking is just kind of, people think of networking as a business type of deal where you do it to gain something, right? You use it to gain leverage and different connections, but it's not always about doing all that. Sometimes networking is just about hanging out with a group of people, hanging out with another person, and just enjoying yourself. And I think that's really important. Like, I can go help my mom out, as much as I want, or just whatever. Like, I can spend my whole life helping her until she passes away, and turn down every other friend that I have from hanging out and doing podcasts and stuff. But at the end of the day, once she passes away, what am I going to have then? Because I basically screwed my life because I pushed everyone out of the way that wanted to hang out with me and wanted to do things. And so I think it's really important to have like a balance of both. Obviously helping people who you think really needs help, helping people who are in need, but also having fun and doing what you want to do, because you are also a teenage kid. I'm a teenage kid, and I think teenagers need to go out and do their own things, pay their own paths. I don't know, just have fun.
Yeah, well said.
Do we need to spend any more time on this?
I think we got it down.
Yeah.
We got a pretty good one there.
End of the day, not a trend on TikTok.
No.
The Golden is though.
Wait, what?
Golden, the song.
Well, yeah.
Have you watched K-pop Demon Hunter yet?
Kind of, I guess. It's not something I'd watch, but like I guess I've seen a good amount of it.
You saw a good amount.
I've seen the songs. So
You've seen the song?
No.
So you've seen the TikTok, Instagram of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mental health is not like that though.
No, that's a whole different trend. But it's not a trend, so.
It's not a trend.
Yeah.
That was the last question I put together for this first segment. And before we close out presentation, we just talked for a little bit after. There's 6 key basic concepts of mental health, and I wouldn't say there's only 6. I think these are 6 really important ones, but there's definitely more out there. So do you want to read the first one out?
You can tell a bad day from a problem if the feeling lasts. Oh, you can tell the difference, I think is what it's trying to say, from like a bad day from a problem. So I think that's what it's trying to say. I'm sorry. I don't think. Anyway, like you can tell the difference between a bad day and a problem if the feeling lasts for weeks and it starts getting in the way of your school, friendships, or sleep. Kind of exactly what it said. I feel like I can just like.
Yeah, all these are pretty explanatory.
Well, yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. You might have a bad day. Maybe you flunk your test, you go home, and you fall off your bike. I don't know. Bad day. And then you could also have a problem where maybe that's not happening every day, but you just feel empty. I feel like that is a good way to put it. And again, it's affecting your sleep, health, friendships. Anyway, do you want me to say the second one? Or do you have anything to say? All right. Mental health is physical health because your brain is an organ that can get sick or injured like any other part of your body. This is getting more into like the psychology, I guess, if you could say it that way, but technically it is because your brain is where your mentality, I guess, is. I don't know, I feel like...
We also like to say here that mental health is just as important as your physical health.
Honestly, like, it could be more important. That's arguable, but like I'd say equally. That's what I'd have to say.
Yes.
Equally.
That's why I said just as important as.
I know, but like just as, I don't know, equally. I'd say equally.
They're equally
Yeah.
just important as.
Equally important.
Yeah.
Like you have to balance both. So
Definitely.
maybe you, like if you like to, maybe you work out for an hour, but you hang out with your friends for an hour, or just, balance, have a balance of that.
And I think actually like associating yourself with activities that kind of motivates you is mental games just in your body by yourself. And I think working out with like a friend of yours, working out by yourself, it doesn't really matter which way. I think just the act of doing physical workout is really stimulating your brain and building and releasing dopamine, and that really helps your system. And especially like when you're actively having mental health issues or struggles, working out is, I believe, the best way. And a lot of therapists say this is go outside and go do something, go take a walk, go read a book, do something that makes your brain active, that makes your brain stimulated. And that's why in schools I believe they should give more breaks. You have 90 minutes sitting in a classroom and having your teacher talk the whole time or doing assignments, and you don't get a break, right? But I think if people got a 5-minute break, and studies show even 5 minutes is really helpful for just your mental processing of whatever subject you were learning, or even just like cooling down your brain from stimulating too much with all the information going into your head. So yeah.
I don't need to get into this, but like, cause I could go on and on about this, but school, I feel like if they wanted their students to be better, like mental health wise, is just to make it later. Like, I feel like waking up, sleep is so important, and I'm sure like 90% of students are already going to bed at midnight because, I mean, of course, is it their fault or is it the school's fault? I don't know. We don't need to get into that. Anyway, number 3, do you want to read it?
Yeah, sure. Even if people say you're just being a dramatic teen,
Can you read it?
trust your gut. If you feel like something is really wrong, you are the expert of your own feelings.
Yeah, I mean, if let's say you have a bad day and maybe you talk to your parents, hopefully they won't be like, oh, you're just being dramatic, because like that would not be a very good
That would
parent.
be the worst parenting you could ever
yeah.
do. And I'm not trying to call out parents who are like that, but I am actually calling you out, because as a high school teenager, if I'm coming to you to talk about mental health, you better hope you have an open mindset about it, because I swear half the students who try to go talk to their parents literally just get shut down right away, and you wonder why no one wants to talk to their parents about mental health. And I think parents do it, well, there's a few ways parents do it. Number 1 is they do it knowingly that they're shutting someone down, or they do it knowing or unknowingly that they're shutting someone down by saying things that they think is helpful but really aren't helpful. And I don't know if you experienced this, but I think it makes you feel even more down that you can't talk to your own parents about it.
Yeah. I'm lucky to have very supportive parents. But if you ever are in a situation where like your parents aren't very helpful, I assure you, you can even like I would go to my friends is what I would do. But even if your friends aren't, helping you, you can always go to like like a teacher you like, counselor, any of that, and just. But I feel like parents are priority but if you don't feel comfortable like expressing that to your parents, there's always more people.
Yeah, and I think if you're a parent watching this, definitely value your kid a little bit. Not in a way of feeding them, giving them shelter, all that basic needs, because I'm pretty sure if you're doing that, some parents think that that's all their job is, but it's really not. It's also about their mental health as well. And so, if your kid comes to you and they're like, Mom, Dad, I really need to talk to you about something that happened at school. What I'm expecting as a teenager is that you're sitting down and you let me talk, and that you nod your head a few times, and then you talk about it. And there's a difference between talking about the situation than giving suggestions about what you can do, right? I don't know how you feel about this, Colt, but sometimes I just need someone there to listen and not always like tell me how I'm wrong or how I'm right or whatever.
Yeah.
I just need someone to sit there and listen to me rant about what's happening.
Yeah, a listener is that's another good way to, like, if you're watching this and you have a friend that struggles with it, maybe it's not you talking and telling them like what to do. Just listen.
Yeah.
That's always something good. So.
Definitely. And then number 4, a diagnosis isn't a label that defines you. It's a guidebook that helps you understand your feelings and find the right tools to get better. It's really self-explanatory here.
I mean, again, it's just, it's just a label. Like, it's not.
It is not a label.
Or sorry, it's not. That's what I meant. Sorry, I worded that wrong. It isn't a label because if there is actual problems, like, I'm not saying that they can't be fixed, but there is actual. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
I think I wouldn't count it as labeling. Some people might count it as labeling. So there's really like 2 ways here. But if you're having a mental health issue, you're having a mental health issue. Like, that's not really labeling. It's just you have one and you have to work through it. And I wouldn't say you have to deal with it, but you have to work through it. You have to find yourself to get better. Find inside of yourself the will to keep going, to keep talking about it. Because the more that you talk about it, the better you will feel.
Yeah.
Do you want to read the 5th one?
Yeah. While social media can bring awareness, a relatable TikTok video is not a real diagnosis, so don't let it be your
Yeah.
Oh, so don't let TikTok be your doctor. Yeah, there's like, I remember like a lot of times I'd be scrolling, it's like depression test, see if you're depressed. That's not real. Like, It's not actually diagnosing you. Like, maybe it'll tell you if you're sad or not, but it's not a real diagnosis, and that should not be the deciding factor if you are feeling sad or not.
Yeah, I feel like if you're feeling sad, you're feeling sad, and at the end of the day, why do you need a test to tell you that you feel sad? So I think TikTok especially, but there's definitely Instagram and YouTube where they tell you, take this survey and see where you are on the scale. And I never do those, and sometimes they just make you feel even worse. And I'm gonna be frank with that, because they list you on maybe like top 100 or whatever, and then you get like 99 of 100, and you're just like, how did I even get that? Because it's not true, and the questions are really debatable too, and I think they purposely make it that way.
Yeah.
Like, some questions on there is like, how often are you sad? Like, what question is that? Because
it's basic and it doesn't go through.
Yeah, it doesn't really go through your thoughts, and a lot of questions really needs to be your own response. And that's what some classes here at Glenbrook North do really good at, is they don't ask a yes or a no or a click here for an option. They do a lot of open-ended questions, and they ask for your own opinions, because I think opinions matter more than a set scale of what like a set scale between you and someone else. I think just comparing yourself to other people is just completely wrong.
Yeah. Do you want to read 6, or I can?
Yeah, I can read 6.
All right.
You don't have to be in a full-blown crisis to get help, as mental health exists on a spectrum from thriving to struggling.
Yeah, I mean, when I was never diagnosed as like depressed, but I was very sad for a long period of time, so that's why I went to therapy. And I was not super sad. Like, it's a variety. And like, even if you aren't sad all the time, like, if you want to reach out to someone just to like be happier. Even if you aren't sad, just to be happier, go ahead. I mean, you might not be like the most severe, but it's not bad to have a therapist. It's not bad to, have someone to reach out to.
And no good therapist is gonna turn someone down from talking. That's basically what they do all day, is listening to people talk.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't have to be in a crisis to get your help. You don't even have to be anywhere near having mental health to get help. If you just need someone to be there to listen to you talk once a week or twice a week, wherever you figure out, so be it. And I'm gonna be honest, I would pay money for that too, because some people say therapists just take people's money, and I think at one point that's what I thought too. But if you find the right therapist for you, it won't feel like that, because it'll feel like your money is going towards something that's helping you, and you'll want to do it. You'll want to keep continuing. And so I feel like the people who say that just haven't found the right person yet to talk to.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, is that all we got?
So our next episode of our series here is going to be talking about it and the how-tos. So there's going to be another set of questions, and then we're going to be talking about, like, again, kind of what we did today is talking about what it means, and I'm pretty sure I previewed some of the questions, and it was kind of like what to do if this situation happened. So I think that's going to be really good, conversation starter. And then I'm really, really excited for this part. The Call Out Podcast officially has a resource page now. If you go to resources.calloutpodcast.com, you can see all of the resources that we post there. We post mostly American resources due to we are in America, and most of our viewers are in America. If you're not in America, then you can reach out. I believe there is a generalized support in wherever you are. So definitely figure that out and save that into your phone or anywhere near you, so you have a quick way to reach help. But our resource page is really nice. And then of course our official website, the calloutpodcast.com.
Yep.
Most of our stuff is posted on there. The social medias aren't really up to date, but hopefully I can get something in soon. And update those. Have you checked out the website?
I have. It looks really good.
Yeah.
I like it. So.
Have you checked out the resource?
I have not. I gotta check that out after
You gotta check out that. Yeah.
That's cool.
And so, I just kind of want to end our podcast episode just like kind of talking in generalized context, just because that's kind of the podcast we are. Mm-hmm. And how was your day?
My day? Well, I feel like these couple months have been rough, but I'm getting better,
Mm-hmm.
Let me think. I mean, it was pretty uneventful. I feel like I'm just kind of going, which of course is never something. I'm just trying to get through the week. And then the weekends are nice. I'm actually going to the Michigan game tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
So that's going to be fun. Just looking forward to that. I'm just been trying my best to like hang out with friends and all that.
Do you like the Bears?
The Bears?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I love the Bears. Except I'm like 4-6 in fantasy right now. So.
4-6? Oh.
Yeah, I'm like second to last in my league.
I've
so I
never
gotta get
played
that
fantasy. What is fantasy?
Fantasy football?
Yeah.
It's like you have like you draft players from different teams, and depending on how good they do, the more points you get. So
Caleb Williams is probably pretty high there.
I think he's actually pretty high, yeah. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah.
Definitely with his dots at the end of the
Bears,
games.
They're playing surprisingly well, which I don't know how, but
I think I don't know. They're like last year. I feel like they did really good at the beginning, and then they just crashed out at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And they just blow big leads. This year is quite the opposite, actually. They might be losing, but they come back.
Yeah.
There was one game recently. It might have been last week or a week before. They were losing by 3 runs, 2 runs or 2 touchdowns, and they got them. and in the last few minutes, which was absolute craziness.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams throwing a dot at the end, and getting a field goal kick at the last second. I think having Ben Johnson as their coach and definitely like recuperating from last season definitely helped them. Their first 2 games, obviously they're just trying to match themselves up with whatever the league is now, but yeah, they're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So, and then I don't know, how's your school been?
It's been doing good. I was gonna ask you how your day was, cause I don't know. Focus a little bit on you now.
My day has been actually
attention
pretty
on
good. Oh, I don't like attention on me. My school day's been pretty good actually. Been pretty tired actually today. I was sick 2 days ago. So
I'm getting my tonsils removed
Oh.
next week, so I won't be here for a while. But I kind of want a nice little break. So
yeah, that's nice.
But
You know how long?
What? Sorry.
You know how long?
Well, I'm missing I'm getting them out on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and then we have Thanksgiving break. So
yeah. So
I'll be missing 4 days or 5 days. Yeah.
5 days.
Um.
And then the break.
But yeah.
Yeah, we won't be publishing on Thanksgiving week.
So that means I won't be here next week.
Yes.
Sorry.
So you won't be here.
Yeah, I won't be next week. You can ask like Andrew. If he
Andrew
wants to come
Novak?
out. Yeah. Or yeah, I'll let you know. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should get me in touch with him.
Okay. Yeah.
I might have his phone number. He and I used to do production crew at Maple for our musicals.
I didn't know that's where I didn't have that at MBJH. That would have been
Did you guys
cool.
have musicals at all?
We did. Wait, yeah, we did, but we never filmed them.
Oh, yeah. We filmed 3 camera shots from all angles, and so he was doing that, and I was doing the lights.
Cool.
While
Very
he was
cool.
doing that, and I did sound 1 year. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it sounds fun. You should do production crew more. We got our orchestra show coming up, so yeah. If you ever want something to do, if you're at GBN, do the production crew.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And join GBN Radio. You should join
GBN
GBN
TV.
Radio.
I think I'm gonna do it once.
Next
just
year?
because, yeah, next year.
Be
But,
161.
I'm
I'll
at
be station.
161 on TV, and I'm gonna be 261 next year.
I'll be station manager for radio
So. Wow.
next year, hopefully.
Cool.
Fingers crossed.
Well, anything else to add?
If you were to recap of today's episode, what would you say?
Don't hide it. Get out and get help.
Wait, hold on. Before you say that, we need a viral clip somehow from our episode.
What do you mean? Like a clip?
We need every episode I post I at least one clip from the episode itself. So we need like some type of a viral clip that we can do. And
well, let's make it right here. Ready?
yeah.
All right, we're doing Call It Podcast episode 1 in 30 seconds. Don't hide your depression. Go out and speak about it. Talk to your friends, your family. Spend time with them. Get into activities. Find a good community. Anything to add?
Be who you are and don't give yourself up for other people. Do what you want to do and have the healthy balance. 30
That's
seconds.
it. Boom. We're done.
Our first clip.
Yeah, that'll go on the. Will that go on the talk?
That will go on the Insta.
All right.
Insta.
Well.
Let us know if you want to see us on the talk.
Yeah,
TikTok.
we should go on the talk.
Maybe we'll get a little more viewership there.
Maybe we'll see.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yep. Anything else to add?
I don't think so for this episode.
Well, Yep. That's about it.
I think someone should go turn off the recording.
Right now.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching the Call Out Podcast. It's me and Colt. We will see you all next week or maybe the week after. Not for Thanksgiving. Those who are off on Thanksgiving. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time.
Yep. Dylan is he's trapped in my basement. You got like a better Dylan today. So.
Yeah. We're gonna restart that because that was not on the right
Oh,
screen.
oh my goodness.